Adelaide. Let's go racing!
Stephen
Into
Andrews.
the first corner. Stephen Andrews on the Peter Jackson Yamaha.
Eddie Warren second.
Stephen Maguire on the Suzuki up the inside. Eddie Warren in third.
Todd de Hoop makes it through into third place.
Stephen Andrews through 7 as they go up over the Scotch Petroleum flyover on the Peter Jackson Yamaha. And there's a huge pile-up.
Just past Channel 7.
Bikes going out wide around the track. Everyone's okay.
That's the two Stephens doing the work. Stephen Andrew.
Stephen Maguire.
And Todd de Hoop getting into the act very quickly. Eddie Warren behind him. Then we've got the other American, Hawthorne. Further back, where is Craig Dack? There he is. You can see the distinctive blue. Around about 9th, 10th place at this stage. He's got a lot of work to do. Hawthorne. Next is number 5, Dale Britton. Is he doing well?
Len Bell. Troy Doran. What a race this is.
And another bike down. I think it's the youngster, maybe the 16-year-old.
It's a Kawasaki. Eddie Warren moves up the 3rd spot.
It was Gobert, Anthony Gobert, down again in that same spot.
This is the final, the 20-lap final of the 1991 SAFM Supercross Masters. And it's Steve Andrew riding the number 2 bike, the Peter Jackson Yamaha Racing Team bike, out in front, down across the Scotcher Stutters, all 21 of them as he comes wide back in over the triples.
Okay, team, cheer him through.
Stephen Maguire 2nd, fast Eddie Warren 3rd, Dennis Hawthorne 3rd. Another bike goes down on the 7th corner. All eyes are out with the race leader, Stephen Andrews. Set himself up a fairly handy race, but it's 2nd and 3rd that's providing all the time. And there's Eddie Warren, up over the Stutters, takes Stephen Maguire.
Eddie Warren is always quick through those Stutters.
Comes out over the triples. Stephen Maguire and Dennis Hawthorne now moving up in 3rd spot.
And the leader.
Dennis Hawthorne pushing Stephen Maguire on the Kawasaki. Hawthorne riding very well as they come into Yamaha Pitman's turn there.
Over the Stutters.
The Toyota Husky.
Over the Stutters, the race leader, Stephen Andrew. For the Peter Jackson team. Does the triples, heads up towards the SAFM tabletop. A big fly over the top of it. Eddie Warren in second place.
Hawthorne's got Maguire. Hawthorne up over the tabletop. Maguire. De Hoop. Doran. Bell. Dack. Bennett. What a race this is. The 20-lap final, Craig Dack, the Dack Attack 8th. Remember that he came from 22nd to win the final last year. So there's plenty of racing still to come. But boy, there's our race leader just about to go under the Scotch Petroleum flyover. Bike 2, the Peter Jackson Yamaha bike. Stephen Andrews.
Dack now mounting his attack. Look at him coming on Dale Britton. Dale Britton, number 5, going out of the tunnel, heading back towards the Husky.
Have a look at Hawthorne and Eddie Warren going here. Eddie Warren took 2nd spot back from Hawthorne. This is one hell of a race. Eddie Warren in 2nd place.
And he's making a move on Stephen Andrew.
Lapping slower bikes already. Maguire 4th. De Hoop 5th. Doran 6th. Bell 7th. Dack Attack 8th. Bennett 9th. That's the situation in this final tonight, and it's Steve Andrews out in front coming into Aussie Glass. But it's on for 2nd. Fast Eddie Warren pushing Steve Andrews. 4, 5 bike lengths behind him as they go into the Scotch Petroleum flyover. Into the Yamaha Pitman's right-hander. Over the doubles. Up onto the Toyota Husky flyover.
Scotty, one of the amazing things is that Craig Dack can't do anything. He's trying to work on Dale Britton, almost had him a lap ago, but just can't gain, and he's there. He's way back into the field.
It's on for 1st and 2nd, Rob. Andrews getting caught up in the slower riders. Fast Eddie Warren putting the pressure right on. Hawthorne in 3rd spot.
Andrews' strength is going to be important now. Now, being a protege, the same team as Craig Dack, one would imagine that he'd be putting so much work into his body, the same as Dacky does. But look at the experience of Eddie Warren. He's in the groove. Eddie is really in the groove now. He's done everything right so far. He's won every race he's come out to. 2nd place in the big one as we head up to about 1/3 distance.
This is making up for last year when Eddie Warren had all sorts of problems with brakes. He's putting on a show tonight, the Motown Magician.
Well, he promised us that he had to get last year's race out of his system. He felt so embarrassed about that as Stephen Andrews goes through the Stutters.
Stephen Andrews. Look at him here. Back into the main straight, over the triples. 3 bike lengths separate them. Up onto the SAFM tabletop. There's nothing in this race. Hawthorne in 4th. Maguire in 5th. De Hoop in 6th. Doran. Craig Dack up into 7th position, having passed Glenn Bell.
He's finally got Britain. He worked on him for about 3 laps, so he's starting to make a move now, and he's about in, what'd you say, 6th place?
Spot. Stephen Andrews still leading the race, 3 to 4 bike lengths. Eddie Warren, hot in his heels. Round under the Scotch Petroleum flyover. There's Hawthorne, Maguire.
And
The
Dack
slower
now.
bikes, De Hoop, Dack into 5th spot. Doran pushing him. What a race this is. Race leaders coming over the stutters now. Stephen Andrews. 3 bike lengths off him.
And sports fans, may we tell you that the Dack attack is well on. He's just got De Hoop. I think he's got De Hoop. We're looking for that dark blue colour of Craig Dack.
Hawthorne in 3rd.
He has, he's got him.
Maguire 4th. Dack 5th. De Hoop 6th. Doran 7th. Bell 8th. What a race.
But look back towards Aussie Glass as our leader. Number
Look at
2,
this.
Stephen Andrew, and he's got nothing between himself and Eddie Warren. Just
Eddie
holding
Warren.
that small 2 bike length lead. Working as hard as he can. Summoning up all his strength. Warren, all he can see now is the motorbike of Stephen Andrew. Looking at Stephen Andrew's back and trying everything he can do. Remember that Warren is very quick through the stutters that are coming up now. Andrew sets himself for it. Andrew gets away slightly from that.
Gets past the slower rider, gets in the way of Eddie Warren. Stephen Andrews over the triple. Eddie Warren hot in his heels.
Look back to the rest of the field.
1, 2.
Dennis Hawthorne, a fair way back in 3rd place, now approaching the SAFM.
Dack up into 4th spot.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Ahead of Maguire. Maguire, De Hoop, Doran, Bell, Stewie Bennett. But it's still Stephen Andrews, the race leader. Eddie Warren, hot in his heels, coming out of Aussie Glass. Up over the triples as they go into Scotch Petroleum. Warren up the inside. In the Yamaha, he's got him. Eddie Warren takes the lead. Up over the Husky double. They come through into the stutters. This is where Eddie Warren excels. He's quick through the stutters.
And so Stephen Andrew got the inside line on him.
Not giving an inch. Look
Warren.
at this. Back into the main straightaway. Neck and neck. Up under the SAFM tabletop. Half a bike length between them. Into the 7 corner. Eddie Warren.
Oh, Adelaide, we've
Stephen
got one.
Andrews.
We've got a heck of a race on our hands.
Hawthorne. Craig Dack 4th. Maguire 5th. De Hoop 6th. Doran 7th. Bell 8th. Eddie Warren leads the race out of Aussie Glass. Steve Andrews hot in his tail. Half a bike length separates them as they go into Scotch Petroleum.
Look, Scotty, I reckon you can forget the rest of the other 20 riders or whatever there is left in this race now. Just look at the leaders. Bring them home as fast Eddie Warren, the Motown magician, holds off Stephen Andrew in the second of the Dack bikes. And Stephen is very quick through the starters too. He's giving it everything he can, but dropping back slightly on last lap as Eddie Warren gets away, heads towards the SAFM tabletop and a huge leap over it.
Bit of breathing space there now, Robbie. Here comes Hawthorne. He's put himself back in front of Dack, but Dack's not giving up. Dack's in 4th spot, coming back into the straight. Over the triples. Clears him well.
The most Dack can hope for at this stage of the race, with it well over half distance, is for a 3rd place if he can pick off Dennis Hawthorne. But all the excitement's out there in the lead. Can Stephen Andrew bring back on fast Eddie Warren? Eddie Warren in the green bike, number E. Seems to have made his break. Slight breathing space. Getting his rhythm going, doing everything as smoothly as he can. Goes over the Husky jumps.
Gets the doubles. Into the stutters. Not much here. Oh! There's Warren, past a slower bike. Andrews hot in his tail, through out of the stutters, up over the triples again. He's put probably half a dozen bike lengths between himself and Steve Andrews. That's quite a handy lead at this point, but there's plenty of racing to go.
10 laps down, 10 to go.
3rd place, Hawthorne. Where's
Dack?
the Dack attack?
We've lost him. Where's Craig Dack? He's
There he
gone.
is, coming up the inside now.
He's
Into
lost-
the main straightaway.
Dack's
He's
lost 2
ground.
places.
To hurt Maguire. He gets Maguire over the tabletop. Into 7. Goes up wide. Oh,
down!
He's down in 7. Picks the bike up. Can he get back on?
That's his race. No
Doesn't
hope
look
of a
good.
placing now. He's thrown it away. Fires up the bike, but he'll just be in there for appearance now. He'll do it for his sponsors. But look at the race leader. It's not over. This is the 11th lap out of 20. Eddie Warren with about 2 bike lengths between himself and Stephen Andrew.
The ride of his life, Stephen Andrews, giving nothing. Hawthorne in 4th place. Couple of slower bikes in between. They could cause problems if they bunch up through the tight sections of the track.
And Todd DeHoop is back in 4th place. He's given the slip to Steve Maguire. Maguire's lost a place to number 6.
There's a move. Doran's moved up. Maguire.
And
Glenn Bell.
And now, just imagine the amount of pounding these bikes have taken and the amount of pounding that the bodies have taken. Now's the time when your shoulders are sore, your arms are sore, your legs, just imagine your knee joints.
Fighting back, probably 8th or 9th spot. He's not giving up, Robbie.
And the race leader is Eddie Warren, and on his tail, closer to him, Stephen Andrew.
Have a look at this. Back into the straight, over the triple. Nothing in it. Up onto the tabletop. Andrews pushing Warren into 7. A corner that's claimed so many bikes tonight.
5 laps to go.
It's USA versus Australia. Fast Eddie Warren and Stephen Andrews from the Peter Jackson Yamaha Racing Team.
Slower bike in front of them.
Out of Aussie glass.
That's
tightens it up.
Gavin Hutton, the South Australian. Andrew in trouble. He's left the track. Stephen Andrews left the track. Eddie Warren with a huge breathing space now.
Wow.
And that was just what he needed.
Well, that certainly put Stephen Andrews up his game. There's
Dak
no
is
doubt
in
about
trouble.
that.
Dak is also in trouble
Dak's
now.
caught the streamers. Holy dooly. Well, I'll be. There's Craig Dak, gift wrapped, doing it easy.
He's made up for last year with bells on tonight.
He's got to stay on the bike. Stephen Andrews not giving up. He's fighting back. But, gee, there's a gap to peg back, Rob.
Take a look at Stephen Andrews, and it's almost as if he's starting to drop his bundle. It's as if he's getting tired, and you can see him just riding over those jumps instead of leaping into them with the same zip, the zeal that he had earlier on. The race leader now going through the starters, heading back towards this corner in front of us and down the main stand.
Let's get these placings. There's Eddie Warren up onto the tabletop now. We'll pick the second bike up. Stephen Andrews coming over the triples, going past that slower bike.
4 laps to go. Hawthorne, Dennis Hawthorne.
Hawthorne in 3rd spot. Waiting for 4th spot.
Yeah, Craig Dak is a lap down. 1 lap down. Here comes the 4th. Todd DeHoop.
Maguire. Looks like Maguire's in 4th.
Todd DeHoop, maybe.
DeHoop, rather. DeHoop.
Then
Doran, Bell, then Maguire.
Yeah, that's Britain, number 5 between the two of them. And they've got 5 to go. 5 laps, just checked officially.
There's Bell, getting Bell mixed up with Britain before I was.
But here's our race leader, Eddie Warren, and hasn't he done it well tonight? Got a huge heart, the Motown magician.
Andrews chasing. But with a substantial gap to pick up. Hawthorne in 3rd spot.
Hawthorne's not that far away from Andrews now. He's got Todd DeHoop behind him, waiting for DeHoop to come around now.
Big gap, 3rd to 4th.
Flicks it through this turn. Over
There's
the triples.
DeHoop, goes past Mark Kirkman.
There's Doran and Britton. Maguire.
Glenn Bell well back in the field. Just coming down the straight now. Goes over the triple. Passes the slower bike. Shona Skian. Jason Langford bringing up the rear. 27, Stu Bennett over the jump.
And there he goes into the Channel 7 corner. Our race leader, Eddie Warren.
Stephen Andrews, 2nd place. Up over the SAFM tabletop.
And there's
Hawthorne in 3rd, gaining ground on Andrews. Long gap between 3rd and 4th.
Eddie looks fit. Have a look at Eddie Warren through Aussie glass as they've got about 3 laps to run now. And Eddie Warren does look fit. He looks like he's enjoying this race. I guess you would, wouldn't you?
Fit Stephen Andrews getting further back. Not making a lot of ground. Hawthorne. Not really making much of an impression on Andrews. This field's pretty well spread out. A long way back to 4th. It's been a tough 20 laps.
Remember back 3 years ago when Eddie Warren won this, back in, when was it, 88, 89?
Doran, Britton, Maguire, Bell, Kirkman. But it's Eddie Warren's race. Eddie Warren.
And here he comes.
Fast Eddie, out of the stutters.
Ladies and gentlemen,
give him a big round of applause, the Motown magician, Mr. Eddie Warren!